What happened? Who was in here while I was gone? I'm going to have to clean up this mess. But what is this? Is this an empty K-Juice box? At least pick up your trash. Let's tune into the show.
Hello, and welcome to the podcast where we are currently recapping the events of Transformers IDW 2005 continuity. I'm Onyx Prime with my two co-hosts here.
Hi, I'm Computron.
Hi, I'm Kilobyte.
Moving on with our comic discussion for today's episode takes us to IDW Transformers Lost Light Volume 2. And as always, spoiler warning, so if you haven't read it already, we highly recommend you go back, read it, then come listen to the podcast. Also, we have a goal to reach 500 subscribers. We'll be holding a brand new kind of giveaway we've never done before, so click that subscribe button, tell your friends, it's a good time. Now, onwards. Computron, do you mind telling us the facts for today's comic?
Yes. So there are a total of 6 comics, 7 through 12. So issue 7 was released June 28, 2017, and issue 12 came out December 27th, 2017. That is a Christmas gift.
It is. And boy, howdy was it.
So the writers was James Roberts. The artist was Priscilla Tramontano, Jack Lawrence, Andrew Griffith, and pencils by Jack Lawrence, inks by John Wyckoff, and colors by Joanna Lafuente, John Paul Bove, and Priscilla Tramontano. All right, time for some trivia. In issue 7, if the joke surrounding Skip's name, in which is suggested he might turn into a skip, falls flat over you, it's probably because you're not from the UK, where a skip is a rubbish container. Dumpster in the USA is a trademark for skips.
Nice.
Issue 8 mentions the Mederi Medical Center derives its name from Latin. Mederi is a present infinitive of medior, meaning I heal. Google it. Issue 10, on a reread, it becomes apparent that some of the dialogue is pretty loaded with foreshadowing. Good to see you again, Doctor. It's our fault. It's a long, circassious story. We'll return to this conversation later. We keep coming around in circles. I've seen him like this before. We'll come back and fix things.
Interesting. Well done.
Oh no.
In the 12th and final issue, it's not really clear on the page why Riptide isn't eaten by the Scraplets, despite being able to transform, since he's still submerged under the oil for 30 seconds regardless. His high-speed exit from the reservoir, launching himself to safety in a way that wouldn't be possible in robot mode, suggests he's been whizzing around below the surface, evading the critters until he could burst free.
That is fantastic, actually. Because I was thinking that too. I was like, how did he survive down there?
He's just playing chicken, I guess. All right, Kilobyte, do you mind giving us a short summary of these comics?
Will do. As the Autobots recuperate in the wake of their parallel universe adventure, Ultra Magnus must come to terms with the loss of Megatron, while Cyclonus and Tailgate finally have to talk their relationship out. Amid the markets of Troja Major, Nautica pursues a secret objective, while the past comes back to haunt Anode and Lug. Nautica and Velocity's friendship is put to the test, while Lug and Anode are met with an unsettling mystery that may cost them their lives. The Protectobots return to the Lost Light, but a lot has changed in their absence. Deja
vu, I swear you just said that.
What did he say again?
The Protectobots return to the Lost Light, but a lot has changed in their absence. Getaway explains to Freud his master plan, and the Protectobots make their stand against Getaway.
Wait, did you just say Protectobots?
The Protectobots. Yeah,
swore.
the Protectobots. And as always, this information has been taken from the wiki.
Fantastic. Are you two ready?
Oh, I'm ready. This is a heavy one.
No, not really.
This one's full of details. We start off in Rodimus time, where the crew are assembling to get off Necroworld after spending 7 long days, according to Velocity, and they plan on skipping across the universe using a force mass displacement skip. Who turns into a spaceship? Thoughts? Favorite scenes?
I liked when Rodimus was announcing that he was leaving or he was getting ready to leave. He's like, for those that heard me, get on the ship. For those that didn't hear me, go ask somebody that heard me.
It's like that's not how that works at all.
Felt so bad for Skip. I know they're offline, but they still forced them into their alt mode and then made them bigger. And I'm like, oh no.
Behold salvation, a dead corpse. Skip.
Who's got that one on their bingo card of the Lost Light Adventures?
I was not expecting that to happen at all. That's so gruesome.
It's so good though. It's totally what Rodimus would do.
Sadly, yeah.
So Minimus is having issues getting it up. I mean, Ultra Magnus is dead. And what are our thoughts on 3 taking an interest in the medical field?
I had a little bit of doubt for Fangry once he was in the medical room, but then after that I'm like, oh cool, he's now being supportive. But boy, was I wrong.
Yeah, he's gonna be a guy that's gonna help heal other people.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Ultra Magnus or Minimus Ambus is acting a little out of character.
Yeah. You want to explain more?
So it turns out that Minimus Ambus or Ultra Magnus doesn't do gray areas. You know, he kind of essentially looked up to Megatron, and he was kind of confused on, I guess, his feelings towards Megatron because he was at war with Megatron, and then he thought Megatron had a turn of heart. And then Megatron, and they all believe Megatron ditched them when they were in the Functionist universe. And so I guess all it took was a little shaking from Hot Rod to say, maybe Megatron is a good guy. And to which Minimus snaps and goes, no, he's not. He's a bad guy. He's evil. And then all of a sudden, lo and behold, he's Ultra Magnus again. Because Ultra Magnus deals in absolutes.
Absolutely. So, finally, the ship leaves. Cyclonus is sad he had to leave Tailgate behind, but don't worry, he has Whirl. Tailgate learns from Kaput that he might be able to depower him and make Tailgate safe once again. And we get a montage, which eventually leads to what, Kilo?
Tailgate being buried alive.
But I do want to say, because it kind of flew over my head the first time I read it, this is how we were introduced to Tailgate, and this is how we watched Tailgate die.
Yes.
He started in the ground,
and we found him into the ground.
Yeah.
He's placed underground, but it's because there's a medical procedure that Kaput is going to do. Requires a lot of radioactive material so that it can absorb the excess energy Tailgate is making. So that's why it's underground, so it doesn't affect nearby bots, or the farther away, the less radiation will be affected up top.
I do want to say, as sad as it was, I did laugh at the way that Fangry was scraping dirt over Tailgate's.
Oh, like a dog.
Yeah, like a cat in a kitty litter box or something.
Man, it hit me hard the first time I read this. I remember crying. I'm like, my boy.
My boy.
Well, to make sense of that, Fangry shows up and he's not good. He was never good. It was all planned so that he could get close to Tailgate. And once Kaput told him about the secret experiment, he waited for Tailgate to be locked down at the hole, and he kills Kaput and oversaturates Tailgate's procedure so he gets more radiation than what he's supposed to take, so that he dies.
Yeah, very sad indeed.
Yep, that caught me off guard because for some reason I thought, oh, Fangrease is being nice again, yay! And then this time I'm like, oh, okay, I got too excited there.
Now you know why Computron doesn't like Fangry.
I don't like a lot of bots. Actually, just 2.
Just 2.
Getaway.
Who would like to give us a quick summary of the mini adventure Lug, Anode, Have, and Velocity and Nautica?
Oh boy. When you say mini adventure, you mean like a node asking Velocity and Nautica for some money and then just not needing money?
Yeah, the 5-finger discount. Like the
five-
whole adventure at the marketplace, pretty much. Try to summarize it.
Nautica and Velocity are traveling to an old friend of Nautica to hopefully get a special relic that will help Nautica achieve a secret objective that she has. And once she gets to her old contact, they don't actually have the map, which was what Nautica was telling Velocity that she was looking for. But she got information of somebody that has this special relic that can bring bots back from the dead, and it's a cradle. I forgot the whole name, but it's a special cradle that can bring bots back to life. And so she goes to find this bot and offers them anything in exchange to bringing back skids. The seller of this cradle tells Nautica that they will need her feelings of grief in exchange to bring back skids. And the way they extract that is a special machine that will target those special feelings and will extract them, and that way they can sell them to the highest bidder. And she agrees, but skids memory cortex it's like getting cold, so they require something else, and that is her friendship with Velocity. So if Nautica sits on the machine and her feelings of grief and friendship get removed, she will still remember skids and she will still remember Velocity, but it won't have that special connection. And she decides to go through it, even though Velocity disagrees. But at the last second, Velocity tells her that she has a choice and she will support her choice. And she goes under the procedures, and that's when a special group attacks the facility and they have to escape. And when they do escape, Nautica says, "Yeah, that was silly of me trying to revive skids. It probably wasn't going to even work." Anode's friend, which I forgot the name right now.
Lug.
No, not Lug, is the other one,
Flame?
the blue one. Lang?
Flame?
Oh, yeah.
Flame. Flame, like a flame of fire.
Flame? Okay, Flame. So Anode's friend Flame tells her that the way the machine works is they'll target the memories of the bot and will remove every emotion. So she thinks of skids, but she no longer cares for skids. So she's like, "Oh, he was there, but that's about it." And so she lost all of her emotions towards Skid and why she enjoyed his companionship.
It's sad.
It was sad.
Anode and Lug.
On a flip side of things, so we all know that Lug and Anode are mischievous, little curious cats.
Sure, that's the kind way to say that.
So they kind of show up to Trojan Major. They didn't know, since they had been under the Necrobot's sleep chamber for, I think it was 500 years, they kind of forgot the price of, or the value of Shanix.
Inflation.
Yeah, and so they just straight up asked the purple
Nautica?
one. Nautica. Wow, I'm bad. They straight up asked Nautica for like 10,000 Shanix, and Nautica's like, "Why do you need 10,000 Shanix?" I'm like, "Oh, I guess that makes a lot of sense. I was just assuming for inflations. No, never mind. I'll be back in like 2 minutes." And so all of a sudden they're getting chased by this like giant robot that looks like a minotaur, because they ended up stealing instead of buying something. But they ended up getting chased all the way down. And like after that, Anode kind of picks up a scent with her nose, and they find like this graveyard looking site. And so they go in and they see all these caskets, and Anode and Lug try to open one, but it was empty. Well, it turned out that the casket itself was a transformer, and it transformed into a bot. But the interesting thing about this was it's a graveyard, so the whole thing about Trojan Major, before I kind of go into that, is that it's a kind of like a place where a lot of civilizations go to bring their dead into mourn and grief. So there's a lot of caskets around, and this casket was a transformer, so they assumed that it was like maybe an old one. But it turned out it was a brand new bot. Like it was barely out of proto form. And
The
so
baby.
it was a baby. And so when the bot transformed, the Black Block Consortia showed up and they tried to essentially kill it. But in the chance of escaping, they find Wipeout, and Wipeout kind of helped them escape the Black Bloc Consortia. So as they escape, they kind of go into a bar, and what was kind of reason why I'm stopping here is it kind of goes to explain that Anode and Lug are both trans. So they were originally he's, and then they turned into she's, and it
They
was
transitioned.
transition. Sorry, that's the word I was looking for. They transitioned into she's, and so they kind of go into a little bit of a detail of why they did that. And one of the things I kind of want to quote here is when the Primal Vanguard used to come home between campaigns, there'd always be a few who had reclassified themselves, a few she's amongst he's, and they tend to stick together, he to she. I didn't understand the significance of what difference did it make, but after we left Cybertron and started to meet other races, yeah, that's when it made sense. It made perfect sense. So essentially, they finally realized that Cybertronians don't necessarily have, it just didn't make any sense for there to be like two genders, essentially.
One gender.
One gender. I'm sorry. Yes,
Right.
yes. Moving on. Sorry. They eventually in the bar, they get picked up by the group that had the symbols, like the secret group that essentially had symbols on them. They kind of get teleported, and well, lo and behold, Anode, being Anode, picks a fight with the group and decides to give like a 5-finger punch to this head of the, I guess, security, if that's what you would call him. And so an all-out fight breaks out. They escape by Anode transforming into their plane mode.
Mm-hmm. They're biplane. Get it?
Their biplane. Oh my gosh!
You're welcome.
It all makes sense. Anyway, gosh, they ended up, as they escaped, they ended up going back to the site where they found the barely the born bot, and then they find that a piece of metal fragment from the bot itself was left at the site. Well, Wipeout, being a blacksmith as well, was able to figure out that this bot that they found wasn't just permanently a casket bot. It was a bot that had like millions and millions of alt modes. It wasn't one specific alt.
Not just millions. Everything.
Everything. Yes. And so by then, that's when they run into Nautica and why can I not do names?
Velocity.
Yeah.
Velocity escaping the group that they just escaped from.
Yeah. That's
That was a mouthful, and
epic
that's a long story.
Yeah. We really stretched the word for brief. Oh.
Ad break. Give me an ad break. I need
We're
water.
working on it. But there is a thing I want to ask Kilo at least. I think you may have some theories about the ending of this part of the story. Would you like to tell us?
Well, at the end of the story, there's a world sweeper where the same group that attacked Anode and Nautic and Velocity regroup, and they're talking to a mysterious bot that is the leader of this group, and they're asking them to, give them the cradle that Nautica was also looking for. And before I saw it, I was like, I think it's Scorponok. And next page, it's Scorponok, and I'm like, I knew it. I don't know how.
The name of the cradle is the Magnificence.
The Magnificence.
Yeah.
Are they gonna do hybrids?
And when was the last time we saw Scorponok? It was all the way back in Maximum Dinobots, wasn't it?
Yeah, I thought he
It's
died.
been
or
a
he got-
while.
yeah.
Oh, I thought he died in the Autocracy when Megatron said yeet.
No.
Oh yeah, he did die
no.
there, but then he came back.
Oh, that's right.
So it was way back, man.
They all come back.
That's phase 1 back. We're in phase 3.
Yeah, we're way in the future now. All right. So what was your theory about this? Do you think they're making hybrids?
Yeah, I think they're gonna be making some kind of hybrids.
Interesting,
Half-
interesting.
Half organic, half Cybertronian bots. Because the bot that turned into a casket is a special kind of bot that they're trying to build, right? This group is
Self-repairing.
building. Yeah, it can self-repair and it has multiple modes, so they're practically immortal or unkillable in a way, right? So I think the next step would be to try to do hybrids.
Let's put a pin on that and take a quick ad break.
Let's play Guess That Con, and don't forget to leave a comment below with your answer, and you may get a special shout out. Hey Onyx, what do you have there?
Garbage O's, they are fantastic.
Can I have some?
Of course you can. They have all your daily minerals and energon you will need throughout the day, all jam-packed into a delicious breakfast cereal.
Can't wait to try some.
You can find Garbage O's at your local Autobot factory, or if you know a bot named Swindle. If purchasing a Garbage O's products, you are therefore agreeing to the following terms and conditions. Garbage O's is not responsible for any turtle mice found in products. There are no refunds or exchanges.
Oh, Primus, I forgot my faceplate was still on. It's Rumble!
Welcome back. Now it's time to check in with the Lost Light with the famous mutineers. The Computron's favorite captain, the rescue bots, are trying to make an emergency landing on the Lost Light because they just came under attack and are seeking help and shelter. Getaway greets them as friends, but is hiding some very important details. Before we dive into that, Kilo, did you have any theories of what might have happened here or what's going on?
As soon as they arrive, I assumed that they didn't know that Getaway took the ship. So I was like, let's see how this goes, because First Date looked like he was kind of like already suspicious of what was going on, because Rodimus didn't greet them or anything like that. So I was thinking that they were going to find out and gonna get killed. Pretty much.
That's fair.
I was very scared for First Date.
Yeah,
But-
First Aid, very tense.
But I am happy that the monster bots are with this group. I don't want them to support the group, but I'm very happy to see them again.
Monster bot.
Yeah, they're behind Getaway.
Oh, were they?
Yes.
Oh, I did not notice that.
I did not see that.
Yes,
Oh,
you
no.
see
Are there-
Repugnus and Grotesque and Twin Cast or Twin
Very
Inferno.
cool.
Yes.
Are there any favorite scenes from the First Aid's investigation? Because I really, really enjoy the ending reveal about the loop.
It's like I'm going in circles, 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 circles. I do like how First Aid breaks into Swerves.
Yes.
and like a bunch of other people kind of follow him and they find the hole in the wall. It was a group that flew in with him. And
The
all of a
tech-
sudden Riptide shows up. It's like, oh yeah, I have the key to the place. It just I didn't need to break the door open.
It's so
I-
good.
I do like. I think his name is Rook, and
Yes,
he was
Rook.
always coming. He was always coming up with like stories of like what might have happened, and if it was like ticks. I think it was Rook and Blades. Rook and Blades were both coming up with like different theories of what might have happened, and that it was like ticks, and they got a virus, and they got scared, and so they're like, if you start laughing, I'm leaving this room, and that was super hilarious.
Yeah.
So good.
Other than the memory loop, what else has Getaway been up to? How did he escape? What did he use to convince bots to his side? And who would like to take this one?
Okay, so Getaway is being cocky and explaining the whole scenario to Freud, what he did to get to this point. And in order for him to keep the group in check, he uses Freud and Sunder in order to alter everybody's memory because the nudge gun is just running dry and it can't really tackle the whole crew at once. And in order to satisfy Sunder's hunger for memories, he has to sacrifice 25 bots to Sunder so that he can alter everybody's memory. And he's just been doing this every single time that something doesn't go to plan. And that's how he keeps the crew in check, which is scary. It's very scary.
Scary indeed. Very terrifying.
You don't want to be making deals with Sunder, man.
No, Sunder or Freud. My poor, poor sweet Riptide, always being the least brightest bulb, and yet it somehow worked out for him in his advantage. Computron, do you mind telling us why?
Yeah, so Getaway uses a nudge gun to not only attempt to make him forget what he saw, but to make him forget how to change shape. And just as he's pushed into the oil reservoir filled with little scraplets, we figure out that Riptide's just not the brightest bot there is. And the nudge gun doesn't work on him. which kind of allowed him to transform and escape. But he was under there for 30 seconds, so he was playing chase.
Yeah, I'm just imagining him going in circles now, right?
I can imagine him giggling.
I don't know if he's giggling or screaming.
I do like his alt mode. I think it's
Yes.
like a well-designed alt mode for like a space boat.
Space boat.
It reminds me of a video game or arcade that Swerves has here, which is called Hydro Thunder. And
Hydro Thunder, huh?
yeah, and it's super fun, and it's all about boats, and so they remind me of Riptide.
Is that what you do with all your Shanix?
No wonder he hasn't been picking up the
Yeah.
tab.
Next issue, please.
Next issue, okay. Anyway, Getaway would like to play a game with Atomizer. Anyone want to tackle what happens and why?
So Getaway, fearing another mutiny from the crew, and knowing that the Protectobots can combine, he tells Atomizer that he has to choose one of them to kill in order to not have a combiner running around the ship and ruining his position as captain. And so Atomizer chooses unwillingly, but he chooses his Rook and puts him offline.
Poor Rook. Didn't get a chance.
Poor Rook. Nope. Couldn't even
And this is
defend
all
themselves.
to get Atomizer to feel just as guilty as Getaway, so he would be more willing to be loyal to
cooperative.
Getaway.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, this is all depressing. Let's flip to a more happy note. To the scavengers, staring at a war happening below, fleshy on fleshy violence, if you will, along with Death Source and Nickel. But when they finally found the teleporter to escape, Nickel is also sent through via a nearby explosion. Any thoughts on this?
This is going to be interesting because
I love Nickel.
I have a feeling that Nickel might have helped with whatever happened to Grimlock.
Oh, yeah?
So they might be able to help kind of understand his current mental state.
I know Nickel was the medic for the DJD, right? So
Yeah.
I think Nickel being a good medic could probably help Grimlock.
Yeah, but I feel
But
like
it wasn't the DJG that did this to Grimlock.
no. Well,
Yeah, it wasn't.
I don't know. We found them in a ship. You know, who knows who did this to them? But I feel like Nickel might know the process that was probably used to put Grimlock in the state, and might be able to help revert some of it. Probably
Well,
not all of it, but
Do you
maybe.
want a hint? It's already been laid out for us.
That's it.
What else was on that ship that Grimlock was found on?
A bunch of dead bodies.
Experimental dead bodies. What did we find a couple issues ago?
A cradle.
A cradle. Interesting. All right. With that theories in mind, let's continue forward. So Riptide wakes up the rest of the rescue bots for a final escape. Any favorite scenes? Because I find it very funny when First Aid explains to Riptide about his natural immunity to the nudge gun. On the day Primus was handing out brains, you were at the back of the line. In fact, you weren't even in line. You were in a different line by mistake. And Riptide is still, I don't understand.
Poor Riptide.
It was interesting because, like, I think when they were in Swerves, Riptide's like, go save yourselves. I got this. So he kind of looked like he was coherent. But then you start getting a little more into it, learning about him. He's like, man, how did that guy manage to put those words in a sentence?
Poor Riptide. I like seeing the Protectobots combine into Defensor. That was pretty
How
cool.
did they manage
actually
to do
did
that
it.
since Rook is
Didn't
dead?
last very long.
Well, they went to the morgue and used Ambulon
They
as
had
a
a
leg.
dead leg, literally.
Yes.
Oh man, it was so sad that when Star Saber jumps into the fray, shooting Thunderclash and literally slicing and dicing Mirage without a glance. R.I.P. Mirage. He's been through a lot during this entire series, this entire continuity.
He could have
R.I.P.
teleported. He could have
No.
teleported.
No, he doesn't
becomes
teleport.
invisible. He becomes
Becomes
invisible.
Turn invisible.
Yeah. Yeah. But what were your thoughts at this moment?
I feel very sad for Mirage because he's like, Star Saber, wait! And then he just like slices him. But I was also very scared of First Aid dying because I've really grown attached to First Aid. That was my priority. It's like, First Aid, please don't die. Please don't die.
First Aid first.
I know, we just saw Mirage like getting back into his Visage's bar, and then all of a sudden, boink.
Yeah. Poor guy.
Or bar. Does that mean there's no more bar?
Probably not. So in the end, Atomizer betrays Getaway and ends up paying with his life.
I thought he was getting tickled. I was being sarcastic. Keep
I don't
going.
know if
Oh.
that's your way of tickling, but I
I
don't think so.
Computron, you need to go see sir. In the end, Atomizer betrays Getaway and ends up paying with his life, and the murderer is spun around to seem like Thunderclash did it so that the rest of the crew of the Lost Sliders would still be on Getaway's team. But, good news everyone, we've reached Cybertopia.
No.
Yay! Wait, no.
Not this crew.
So that's the end of the comic. Did you have any theories about this ending? Or thoughts, comments, words, association?
I was like, oh no, I don't like that this crew is the one that found Cyber Utopia, even if this is Cyber Utopia, especially with Sunder there.
Since this is my second time reading it, you're going to be really happy it's this crew that found Cyber Utopia.
Oh.
Why you gotta spoil every damn thing? I had a spray bottle.
No.
Exactly.
We shall see. We shall see.
This left a lot of open questions, and I'm looking forward to it. But holy cow, there's the Cradle, there's
a lot.
Scorponok's back, there's Cybertopia, and you're like, what do I do with all this information?
It makes you want to keep reading.
Yes, you read the next issue.
Yeah, right.
So, Rodstar rating. I'll go ahead and go first. I really like this one. There's a lot of good plot. There's a lot of good art. There's a lot of good character development, character interactions, backstories, explanation, adventure. 4.5.
Yeah, I'll echo that. 4.5. It would have been a 5 if they didn't kill Tailgate. So 4.5.
Yeah, that's sad. I don't know if you can take a star off because someone got killed, but
It made me sad. It made me real sad.
It was a good death. It was a circular death.
Haven't you removed stars before because of that?
He
Yep.
has.
I'm a mean person, okay?
Kilo.
Don't make me feel feelings.
I really enjoyed seeing the story with Getaway and what happened over there, and kind of explaining this whole movement. I really like the Anode and Lug story, and I was a little bit sad that Nautica was willing to sacrifice her friendship to Velocity to bring Skids back, and I was also a little bit disappointed that they were trying to bring Skids back in the as the writers of the comic, not the characters. So I was like, please don't bring them back. We just lost him. Let it simmer a little bit. Yeah, because if they just die and then you bring them back, it's just like it feels like every other death will happen the same way, right?
Yeah.
So it doesn't have that feeling of suspense. But I really like seeing Getaway and how he thinks and all the bad things he's been doing, which make me scared of First Aid kind of dying, which I like a lot of bots, but this is I feel like the first time that I was very scared of one of them dying super quick. So I would say it was a 5. I really enjoyed the whole storyline for this volume.
Fantastic. But listeners, what did you think of these comics? How many Rod stars would you give it? Let us know by leaving a comment below. I do want to point out another thing. There was another part that was very scary. Is the spinal cords and the energon tanks.
And they drank it.
Yeah, very scary. Anyway, sorry, moving on. But if you would like to get in contact with us, you can send us an email at swervebarpodcast@gmail.com. That is SWERVESBAR podcast@gmail.com.
Getting better.
Thank you. I've been taking lessons from Blur. Are there any figures you want to talk about? Because I got the Transformers Legacy RC, and I actually really like it. It's the same mold that Flamore, the Shattered Glass Flamore is in. They come out with a non-Shattered Glass Flamore. I'm still going to get it because I really, really want that one. I just don't know if I can... I don't know, $40 for a small figure like that seems a bit steep, but that's my opinion. But the figure is fantastic. The RC one, at least, is good. It's really good.
Nice. Yeah.
I don't have a new toy, but I did order a stand for my Arc so I can finally attach the thrusters to it. I have these thrusters sitting in a bag, and I'm like, man, I need to use these.
Nice. I got myself a Legacy Motor Master, so I'm very excited to have my first combiner.
Nice.
I just need
Combiner
to-
fight.
I just need to find the other 3 limbs, and I'll be set.
Nice. So, Kilobyte, we
Yes.
need to have an intervention here. Computron and I are very concerned about your condition, the twitch that you talk about, and the platform that you stand on when you have this twitch, and the you think it's a game that you can sometimes game with others with this twitch. I'm very
So is it
concerned.
contagious?
It's not. I went to Flatline. There's no Twitch. Just the name of the platform where I stream myself playing a game.
So it's on a river,
No, it's on the web.
a web.
Yes.
Black Arachnia behind this.
Maybe? I don't quite understand how the World Wide Web works back on Earth,
Okay.
but it could be a bunch of little spiders sending data.
Perfect. And how can people find you doing this? I guess.
Well, if they go to the World Wide Web and they put twitch.tv/kilobyte prime, they can catch me live at 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, Tuesdays and Thursdays, playing video games and hanging out with all of you. And if they want to keep updated with changes to the schedule and updates on what games we're going to be playing, you can follow me on Twitter at Kilobyte Prime. If you've enjoyed this episode, consider sharing it with your friends and subscribing. If you want to help out the show even further, we have started a Patreon. All of the proceeds will go to supporting the show and keeping the lights on. Of course, we have some tiers that offer other forms of gratitude, such as 3D printed files and entry to our Discord channel. You'll even get early access to our comic review videos a week before they're publicly released. And we've also have a goal to reach 500 subscribers. We will be holding a brand new kind of giveaway we've never done before. So make sure to click that subscribe button and tell your friends that it's a good time. And as always, we hope you're all staying safe out there. Thank you so much for listening. To all are one.
All or one.
To all or one.
Follow us on Facebook and Instagram at Swerve's Bar Podcast. You can also find us on Twitter at Swerve's Bar. If you are interested in more content, try checking out the spin-off of D&D series Transform and Rollout, the second and newest season titled First Stand of the Wreckers, with a brand new DM, a different story, and from what I hear, a better pilot episode than the last series. Sorry, not sorry, Onyx. Let's tune in for a preview now.
And they've branded you terrorists because you've attacked the Senate and are part of the Decepticon.
Well, looks like we gotta move to Caminus. Cybertron is leaning a little far to the right for my taste.
Wow. Wow. Wow.
I didn't think this was going to be too close to
Wow.
home.
I'm having fun.
Man,
Well
you're
done,
taking
sir.
Jabs today.
Fun.
Oh my.
My goal
goodness.
in this campaign is to get as many of those kind of reactions from Primus as possible.
Just, oh no, what have I
He's
done?
just like, I just want a campaign.
Right?
No.
The problem is Caminus is so close to what I think you're trying to say that it's just like, how?
I'm actually dead, guys. I can't breathe.
Astonishing. There is also a YouTube channel with bonus content such as video games containing funny comments. A link will be provided below. And if you are so inclined, you can support us on Patreon, where you can get even more bonus content such as 3D files, access to their Discord, and listen to content before it is released to the public. More links will be provided below. End transmission.